Termites in Thailand are part of life here. There's no getting around them. Even in new construction, even when they try to employ things such as PVC pipes and things to direct chemicals underneath the houses in new developments, very often you still end up with termites at some point. Even though homes here generally don't have very much wood in them. They are limited pretty much to the frames of the doors and sometimes windows, so that there's some place for builders to screw into a little bit more easily than concrete. But more and more, I think people are going to plastic frames and utilizing them instead of wood. But it doesn't mean the termites won't try. And this house we bought was 6 years old, not very old at all. And the people living here, one was British, one was Thai, and they put in some amenities that did require some wood. And so right behind me, actually, I'll show you here in a moment, this area here, which I'll show, this area was basically a closet. It had doors, it had shelving units, it had a lot of particle board wood in it. In fact, this entire area was filled with particle board, basically. And much to my dismay, about several months ago, maybe 6-8 months ago, we had noticed that a bag sitting on top of a metal safe had basically been totally laid waste by some termites, which was our first opening clue. We then explored with a screwdriver and so forth, and I found some areas in some areas. I thought, okay, well, maybe it's just this area. No, it was the entire thing. So all of that came out. Every single last bit of it came out. So now, what you can see in our room is that Thai homes will ordinarily have a baseboard that goes around the room, and it's usually made out of a concrete board, type of concrete board, so that it won't be eaten instead of wood-based board like you use in other parts of the world where there are not termites of this magnitude. So what we did, we basically took the baseboard out of this room because even though it was concrete board, they were using it to hide and run trails underneath. And they were running the trails underneath the baseboard up and around doors like this one, even though this door is plastic in a plastic frame. Most of them on a bathrooms here are. And then underneath the baseboard here and out into other parts of the house. So this is relatively successful here. We've pretty much discouraged them from developing anything else. I did notice a new line trail of theirs on this corner, which may just be kind of remnant group here. And so I put a new bait box on there just about 2 days ago. So that's fresh. We aren't going to mess with it. We're going to let them come to it and enjoy eating the contents of that box. I'll show you the other parts of the house that have issues now and which we have been doing battle with. This door was completely in a lot of trouble. It was wooden, it had termites in it from top to bottom, basically, all the way across and all the way down. We took it out, we got everything out that we could, all the way down to the concrete here, all the way down to the concrete here, and removed every little last bit of wood. It now has a plastic door in it, and even with that, there are still a few termites I've discovered that must be behind. It must have been hiding inside the concrete, because the concrete was had a few porous areas where there may be a few remnants in there. But I have not seen any long lines of anything trying to get out or anything searching for anything new. Like I said, this whole frame now is plastic. The door, while it is wood, it is not connected in any way where the termites would get to it, unless, of course, the door were closed long enough. They would probably figure out ways to get in there. So the door has to be open, especially when we're gone. It's got to be left open. And I've kind of kept these spaces down here open just so we can see what, if anything, is going on. And there are no new trails along here, along the old base, where the baseboard was. These rocks, I've not seen anything in those areas so far. We had a box up here. It had been eaten a little bit, but it basically did its job, I believe. There's been nothing new coming out of any of these holes, and nothing new over here on this side. For this bedroom here, there was not any signs of them before, and there are not any signs of them now. This door was an entry to the kitchen, and it was quite another story, because I believe this may be one of the biggest problem areas in the house. And other than the cabinet, the closet with all the cabinets in it in that other room, this room also has some issues because there is wood inside of here. And a lot of Thai homes, you'll see them using metal cabinets in their kitchens, and this is why. You do not use wood here. And we may eventually be all metal. I'm not sure yet. The battle is still being waged, and we'll see what we can do about it. But you can see here, there were some lines that still developed after we removed all of the wood, and they're still trying to figure out ways to travel around. And they can't go here as well, but they have gone this direction, because you can see there is some trails along there. And so right now I'm assuming that these trails are connected to that along the wall. And so I've not put a box down here yet. If I get some more boxes, which I probably will, I may put an additional box down here where we still see some trails there. I haven't really checked these out to see if they have critters running through them, but they probably do. So this is from back when we took the closet out in the bedroom. But we also discovered that there was a problem here in the kitchen. And with this particular cabinet, there seemed to be issues with them getting behind here. They're basically filling this area for aesthetic reasons, I guess. And I don't quite understand why, because they just gave insects more places to hide, which you don't want to do in Thailand. And so that whole box basically came out. There was some termites connected to some things over here, not much. We cleaned it all out. That's done. And they seem to have not continued doing much behind this cabinet. There are some concerns I have right now, though, because and I'll show you why. Now you can see we've got a box on this trail here. This trail is new from when I had to go home from March to May, late May, early June. Came back and this was not here yet. There was no problem here that I had seen. We were gone. My daughter and I were up north for a couple of weeks. I came back down and this trail was here then. And that's when these were discovered, and that's when some of the things I had concerns about here in the kitchen came to light. I discovered that there was a problem over here. As I was doing dishes one night, I looked down and I saw something in this corner of this window. Poked it a little bit. It was a very active thing. And this box is probably on top of one of the most active spots in the kitchen right now. And so there was a metal grid security thing, which all Thai homes have on all their windows. I took that out. There was rust on the bottom of it from being wet over the years. Paint has come off of the bottom. Most of this stuff is rust, but the termites have been going underneath that, and I think they're actually inside the metal frame of the window, using that for a trail. You can see there's a corner spot up here. I haven't put anything on that. It's not really what I would think is major enough, and it may be connected to this area here. There might be a trail going up to there where they get to everything up there. I took the drawers out today because I was concerned with problems in here. And what you can't see is usually not good. You don't want to have leave anything to chance. Even though something might look good on the outside, don't lull yourself into a false sense of security with termites. There is, in fact, an active trail right here, and we will put a box on that, and I will show you how I put a box on. I've got one box left out of 8 that I just bought. There was an active spot in the corner of this door frame. And we now have a box on there. So they had been active out here in the 2 weeks that I was gone. A lot of this stuff occurred then. So this whole thing is a little bit flabbergasting. You know, when you first figure out that you've got termites, it's a bit of a shocker. But you have to be brave about it. You cannot hide your head in the sand about it. They're not going to go away on their own. It just doesn't happen. And so what you need to do is hire a professional and get them in quickly. If you know or have had fights with termites before, I have, and you know a little bit about the baiting systems and stuff, enough to be good at using them, then you can get by for a while just working on them that way. Eventually, I'm hoping by next month we'll have this situation in the kitchen under control, and we will be inviting somebody in to deal with drilling and putting in more chemicals in different areas of the house, because frankly I don't think this situation will be over until we've really got everything doused underneath there too. But we want to get the house under control first and get somebody in to see what we've done and kind of guide us to the next steps, because right now I've still got to do some more traveling. It's not what I came here for, doing this stuff. And so I'm just basically trying to get this stuff under control before I have to travel around to deal with more immigration paperwork, and then also and do some videos on other topics that I want to do topics in. And so right now I'm going to show you how I put a bait trap on. We'll check out that trail a little bit and see if there actually is some activity in it. It could be that it's old. There was not, there was a lot of stuff on the, a lot of trail, I guess we call it trail mix, from the termites on the railings of the drawers that I just took out. But no termites. So it makes me wonder if they'd been there in that cabinet in the kitchen for a while. That may be some old work of theirs. And fortunately, these cabinets do seem to be fairly well built in terms of not having the wood horribly exposed to the termites. There's not a lot of it. It's just the frames that you would see like on a door. And I'm hoping that the rest of what they've used is like non-wood product, like the paneling that's in this one cabinet here. It's hard to tell, but it could be that kind of concrete board that looks like what we in America would term, what's the kind of board that it's called? It's a very thin plywood, basically. So this stuff and this stuff, I'm hoping that is not hoping that is not wood. If it is, there could be some trouble here. Now, where they're going from here, I'm not sure, because I've got it, there's a pretty good little corner here where they were at that I've got covered. I didn't notice, I poked that before I put the box on. I did not see any termites in it. I put it on anyway, just in case. This one I may very well do the same, because the thing is, once you take the plastic off these, you need to use them. So this one looks fairly large and fairly fresh, so it could be active. And that's what we're going to try to put a box on right now. Okay, so I'm looking at this, and this is pretty thin here. You may not be able to see, it may kind of look thick from the video, but it's really pretty thin because I can see it sideways here. This, however, right here is pretty thick and looks more likely to be a trail. This is kind of an awkward place along this railing to try to get the box on, but what I'm going to do is open up the side so that it's pushed in here, and we'll poke a hole here in this one, and we'll poke a hole maybe right about there, just to expose a little bit. Don't know if we'll see anything or not. Sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. They're a little bit shy sometimes, but they they are visible sometimes, and you'll see them stick their heads out or run right through. They're little tunnels. That's all these are, is little tunnels. They're basically pathways for them to get somewhere else. And so what we're going to do is we're going to open up this package, and we will stick it on properly up there. Probably face it right like this. Okay, so here's the box. You can see it. It's maybe about 3 inches by 6 inches long, and it has a little tab that closes it right there. You open it up, it comes with, each side has a rubberized tape. You just peel off the red outer seal on the tape, and then you're exposing the bait right here. And in a case like this, where I've got two sides. I'm probably going to tear the corners like here and here on all four sides of the box, and kind of let the this part be exposed to the sides of the wall up there. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. You'll see it as we place it. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at this trail, and we're going to poke it a couple spots. And that's better. And I'm watching that. I'm not seeing anything yet. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not real sure 100% that these are active, but we'll go ahead and put the box here and then patiently wait a couple of weeks before we take a look to see if anything happened there or not. It's hard to say. We've done placing this, so then we'll take a closer look at it. Push down on the sides here. I don't know if you can see that. I think I got the camera in too close, but we'll take a look at it now that we are back out. And so you see you push in here to get the stickum on, to get the stick down that, and then along here. And I actually got a break back here. The funny thing is that there's, the white kind, the little larva type guys, they don't like exposed stuff, but there's a smaller runner that will go from through a gap like that. So, yeah, depending on what's going on, we'll see what happens. I may just knock this off just to. Yeah, there's some wood damage here, and unfortunately that does seem to be a kind of wood, not concrete board. And so I'm afraid we're going to have to probably break into the stuff up above. Okay, so hopefully this has been a helpful video for you. If you have a problem, I'm sorry, yeah, but it's not unsolvable. These are not, depending on where you come in on the problem, it can make a difference. But I'll list some, in the description of the video, I'll have some resources of what we've used, and maybe some other resources that we haven't used but are there here in Thailand. And just be patient, you can get through it, and hopefully if you're into rebuilding your home, there are a lot of great building products and things here in Thailand. So remodeling is not an issue, and you can take care of it. If your home is built the way most Thai homes are, you're not going to have a lot of huge amounts of damage, but there are places where they can cause you to have to redo some things. So, take care of it. And we'll have some updates where we look at the boxes, and we will see what the effect is on them and how well they are working for us. So that will be useful for you. And like I said, there'll be some resources that tell you where we got the boxes and things like that in the description. Thank you.